My name's Grant Collins. I'm a member of Iraq Veterans Against the War. I was a corporal in the 1st Battalion, 23rd Marines. Was in Iraq from August of '04 to May of '05. A few months after I was there, I mean, a lot of things weren't sitting right with me. The command structure, the missions that we were getting didn't make any sense. We're going after people, Mujahideen or Muj, and they didn't have any idea which ones were the right ones. We're kicking in the wrong doors, terrifying children, helicopters screaming over their heads at night, and I'm trying to calm the women and children while the men were dragged and separated out and completely humiliated in front of their families. In that culture, it's a very big deal to be treated with respect in front of your family, just as it is in ours. But in this, I mean, it can mean a lot of shame. When I really came to the point where I knew that what we were doing was absolutely morally wrong was when, well, a few days, everybody knows, a few days after Bush was reelected, we are allegedly reelected. We began, we had already cordoned off Fallujah, and Cloy was in the first incursion in April, where we took heavy casualties and then decided that maybe it wasn't the right time to go in. Maybe there's too many of them in there. So I was a part of the cordon where we cordoned it off, and then we made operations to move in, and 2 o'clock in the morning we went across the berm and instantly started taking casualties, but started lighting up this city like you wouldn't believe. Artillery strikes going in, and planes flying in and dropping 500-pound J-down bombs into obviously civilian areas. I mean, my platoon was tasked with moving down a certain sector from the north side of the city, and of course we had to take every building block that we went through, and we had already come up to like a four-story like apartment building, and we had encountered heavy resistance from there, and there was no way that we were going to be able to clear it with using people, so we called an airstrike on it, well, a helicopter strike with it, and after a couple of them, the building just completely collapsed in. And I was thinking at the time, man, how many civilians could have been inside there? I mean, just like any kind of conflict, there's people that are hiding inside of places that are unable to come out of these buildings out of fear that they're going to be killed by the enemy or our enemy for leaving, or out of fear that they're going to get shot in the streets, because when they do, they come out and they do get shot in the streets trying to get away. We moved down another block and we came up to a smaller building, and my squad was tasked with taking this building, and the doorway, there was fire coming out of the doorway, machine gun fire, and from the windows. So I had an attachment of SMAWs, which are rockets, a two-man team of rockets, and you can use these rockets to blow holes, make another doorway, if you will, in the side of a building. So I gave the order for them to use the missiles on the building. So we hit it, and then we stormed into the building, and there was two 14, well, looked about a 14-year-old kid, a 6-year-old kid, and a young, maybe this could have been her husband, I couldn't tell because he was so messed up, and a woman that was bleeding, but not severely, and all she was screaming, "Why, Laish, Laish," and I broke down. I leaned up against the wall, and as my rest of my Marines cleared through the building, and I sat there with the corpsman trying to do something about it. But I started to cry. I wanted to rip my hair out, what hair I did have, and go nuts. And the woman, seeing my reaction, came up to me and put her hand on my cheek and said, Inshallah, which is God's will. Because these people over there, it doesn't matter what bad things happen to them, that they can accept it right away as God's will because they're deeply religious. But no, it wasn't God's will. It was my fucking order. I gave the order to fire those rockets into that building, and I killed her family. And that's when I knew that I was put in a situation where I had to do that. I thought I had to do that to keep myself and my Marines alive, thinking that, well, man, that was the best thing I could do at the time. Well, I have to live with that decision. From then on, well, of course, we had the rest of that battle to go through, and I saw more casualties, more civilians being killed. Well, I don't know. I've been here a couple times. I've had to go back. I went back to Grand Rapids, Michigan, to start school. But when Lauren told me that she wanted to come back, I had to come back. On the 26th of August, I lost another friend. He was on his third tour, and the thing is that what's making me really upset is now I'm starting to, their names are all blending together now. And she asked what his name was, and I gave her a name, a wrong first name and a wrong last name. And and then I had a dream after all this, and I saw him in my dream, and he, in his typical joking attitude, said that I was fresh out of friends. That I needed to make some new ones. He's joking around like he used to always say stupid shit like that. And anyway, it's my duty now. It is my duty to stand up and speak, and I will do this until this war is over. That's all I have.